You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. You are listening to the Monday Night Community Show with me, Daniel, right here at our very own community radio station, 95.6 at BRFM. And now it's time to hear the selection of interviews I did when I was out and about at Workshop 34 in Sittingbourne for Essence of 34. This is what happened when I was there. So we're doing a selection of interviews here at Workshop 34 as part of Essence 34. Firstly, we're going to be talking all about this latest performance that's taken place. I was hoping you could introduce yourself to our listeners, and thank you very much for talking to us.
Hi, I'm Laura Malloy. I'm a classical singer, an opera singer, and I've just performed for the first time in the UK the song One Art, which is a poem by Elizabeth Bishop, and the music was by Paula Kimper.
Well, it's pretty amazing hearing you perform here in such a small space. Is that difficult or actually easier?
It's all part of being appropriate for the music that you're singing, and you do adjust for the space that you're in. Opera singers are trained to be able to sing without any microphone, without any amplification, any help from electronics or technology. So I can make my voice loud enough to be heard in a big concert hall or an opera house, but there is a tradition of doing song recitals, art song, lieder, chanson, things by Schubert and so on, and those are written to be done in more intimate spaces. Originally that would have been actually someone's front room. Everyone would have a little piano in their house and you would sing little songs, art songs in that space. Nowadays it's done in larger halls, old churches, and recital halls that are built for purpose. But it's bringing it back to its original purpose, which is to share music in small groups.
So I noticed actually you got out your phone and played a key. Is that sort of to help you get the sort of sound right within this space? That's
to prevent me from starting too high and then ending up, because the last note is a higher note. It's written a cappella. The original key she's put a high C in. Today I felt more like taking it down a step, so it was a high B flat. But if I accidentally start on the wrong pitch, I don't have perfect pitch, I have relative pitch. If I'm working day after day on a piece of music, I tend to automatically start on the right note, but I don't have where I could just take something out of the air, just say, oh, there's a C or there's an A. I need to play it on a piano to be sure I'm in the right key. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't starting too low or too high, because there's quite a range in the song, and I didn't want to be struggling at the bottom or deafening everyone at the top.
Now, you were saying just before you started how sort of reading poetry and singing are very similar in some ways.
Yeah, there's a tradition, if you take it back a few hundred years, where the word poem and the word song are interchangeable, that poets were delivering their song, and they were referring to poets reading their poem or even writing the poem, but that the poet is making a song. And all art songs, sort of classical song that you would do in a part of a recital, for instance, is based on famous poets from the day. So it won't be something the composer has come up with on their own, they're just like a singer-songwriter. It will be someone else's poem, a famous poem perhaps, that composer will set to music. So there's an interconnect there, but in researching some other poets for some other song recitals I've done in the past, I've come across writings and analysis where they were referring to the song of the poet, and they weren't referring to, say, Debussy setting that French poem. They were talking about the original French poet giving us the song. So it's kind of interesting, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, that's, I suppose, 1,000 years ago, or not that long ago, maybe 500, you would go back, there would be traveling storytellers. I suppose you could go back even further than that. I think it's just a human thing that you go and you tell a story, and perhaps it's chanted, perhaps it's heightened in some way, and it becomes quasi-song. And I don't think we made such a difference between performing, acting, and singing in the past as we do today. Or there's a clear difference. This is a musical, that's a play. Now, I think in the past it was all one thing. That's how you told stories.
So you read two pieces and then you sang a piece. How did you come to pick those, or why did you pick those for this particular event?
It was difficult. I found the poem One Art, which is the song. I found that first and loved it. And there's such a subtle message in there, subtle and universal. And I wanted other things to pair it with. I wanted a set of songs written so that it could be performed together as a group. And so I scoured through the collected works of Elizabeth Bishop and tried to find poems that moved me, that I thought would work for me and would work as a song. Some of them are far too long. Some of them go on for pages, and the structure of them probably wouldn't be helped by being set to music. It would be more like a monologue or an opera. So I wanted things that were compact enough and were in stanzas and also fit this theme, because I'm intrigued by the idea of creating art, creating value out of loss, out of nothing, out of waste, detritus, things that we think have no value, and making them into things that have a lot of value. And that theme is in that poem, so I was searching for things that would fit in with the theme as well.
Is there any way our listeners can find out more about what you do?
I have a website. It's www.lauremeloy.co.uk, and that is concentrated on my performing work as a singer. And I also have a website for the company that is sponsoring the composer's commission and this project of getting these songs launched, getting them off the ground, getting them recorded formally. And that is Femme Lunatique Productions, and it's FEMMELUNATIQUE Productions, all one word, .com. And that's outlining this project, other work I do in singing workshops, and other recital work.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to us this evening.
Well, thank you very much.
So we're continuing to talk to lots of different people at this event, Essence 34. We're joined with two singers. I was firstly hoping you could both introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe Mitchell.
I'm Tori Hunter.
So could you tell us a little bit about yourselves as singers and what you do?
Well, singing myself, I'm part of a choir, as is Tori, and other than that I just play guitar at home, and I'm looking to get myself out there in pub for live music, and that's basically all I do.
So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing here at this event.
This event, I've been just performing in the background as background music. I've done one song so far, and I'm probably going to do more throughout the night. I've helped suggest how to set up, and that's basically all I've done.
So what I've been doing at Workshop 34, Essence 34, I've been with both of us today. I've been teaching some students. We had our first students today, and we're going to start doing that weekly. And I sing, I play guitar. I've been playing guitar tonight and singing. I also attend to the choir that Joe mentioned, and yeah, I'm also an artist as well. So I've sold a few pieces of art, and yeah, just basically doing stuff to get by and seeing where I am and where I can go for a career.
So how did you come across Workshop 34? Was it for this event or as an artist?
Oh no, I mean I contacted Justin Agate for the Young Artists Festival thing, because I've been painting for about a year. I found out I was pretty good at it, if I say so myself. And basically he invited me to put my artwork up in here, and it's just kind of taken off for that. And we were also invited to play guitar last Thursday, and we opened the event and sung a few songs for everyone, and it just kind of went from there. And
are they songs you write yourself?
I have written songs, but we play other people's songs. We do covers. songs. I have written my own, but for the life of me, I cannot remember the lyrics. So,
what about the one I heard you singing just as I got here? Is that one you've written yourself, or one you picked because you particularly wanted to sing it here?
That was one that I'm really comfortable with. I learned it a few months back, and from there it's just progressed on how I tweak it to make it my own. It is a cover, and it is a very good song in itself, but I personally like it.
It's Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show, isn't it? Yeah.
So what makes you sort of pick a song you want to sing? Is it you sing it yourself, or you've heard it being sung?
Usually if I like a song, I will look at it, see how difficult it is. If I can personally play it, I will try it. I'll see if my voice suits it. If I can't play it at that point, I try and practice it and get better in order to make it my own, like from a repertoire.
And is that the same for you, or different?
I don't really listen to music normally, like on the charts or on the radio. I mean, but if I hear a song or something that catches my ear one time, or I'll try and learn it and then I'll play it, because I go busking as well sometimes.
Well, thank you both of you very much for telling us a little bit about what you've been doing this evening.
It's completely fine.
You're welcome.
And we are continuing to hear the interviews here at 95.6 BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show with me, Daniel, when I was out and about at Workshop 34 in Sittingbourne for Essence 34. I next caught up with Julie and Joe, who of course I spoke to here at the Monday Night Community Show a couple of weeks ago or so, all about this event. This is what they had to say when I spoke to them. It's good to catch up with the both of you, and I've just watched your performance. It was really good to see, after talking to you in the studio, to actually see it and feel the atmosphere of the cellar.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, appreciate that.
We thoroughly enjoyed doing it, didn't we?
Really enjoyed it, yes.
Oh, yeah. The cellar actually adds to the performance, I think, and the fact that it's all dark and it's sort of quite secretive, isn't it? And then Joe's lovely voice singing just sort of resonates through the whole building, really, and through that cellar. It's a sort of echo chamber, isn't it, really?
It is. I think the space worked very well. I mean, when we first went down there, we came here and we had a look, and we kind of looked at each other and went, ooh, this would be a great space. And
this has to be, you know, that's where the idea came from.
It was.
I was going to ask that, did it develop because of that space?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think we've fairly recently got together and started collaborating, and we seem to kind of like the same kind of things. We both live on Sheppey, so we really, really love the environment there. We love the wildlife. We both live very close to the sea, so we're very influenced by that. And Julie kind of made her video, and it was about time and tide, and a lot of writing that I do is also sort of sea related and kind of birth and death related and that type of thing. So it kind of started to come together, didn't it?
We had the initial, we walked in and we just went wow, and obviously because we'd been chatting, and then we just obviously knew it had to be done, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was no ifs or buts. We were going to do something down in that cellar,
and we saw the door as well, and with what was written on the door.
Yes,
like this door must be kept locked at all times. It was so kind of like surreal that it's kind of all right. Well, we're going to open the door.
It's an old safe, isn't it?
It is actually an old safe.
And everybody that comes to Workshop 34, if they go down there, everyone goes, oh, what's behind there? Can we open the door? And we'd all love to open the door, but we can't. It's stuck.
We haven't got a key. We haven't got a key.
Although Tony was saying he thinks that it's unlocked. It sounds unlocked because he's sort of something. And he thinks it's unlocked, but it's just wedged through many, many years. I mean, it's very old, isn't it? One of the real old sort of safes, really. But no, it's been fabulous, hasn't it? We've had loads of people, really wonderful singing and poems, and there's
really
still more to come.
Full of life.
Yeah, it's really been nice. So we've been moving around to different spaces in the building, seeing different people perform. It's all created that real, performance space within art.
Yes, yeah.
But without too much kind of organisation or, everyone sitting in rows as an audience. This is very much about people moving around, a sort of promenade type thing, people moving around from room to room and just things spontaneously just start and people kind of join. And I really love that kind of
I think it's working.
Spontaneity.
It was a real experiment. We weren't unsure, were we really? We just said, let's make it a jamming session. And, it is what it is, but it seems to be working at the moment. It's going good.
Well, Julie and Joe, thank you very much for inviting me to come along. 'Cause I've certainly enjoyed it. It's been good to hear you talking about it and then come along and see it actually happening.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for coming, Daniel. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel,
So we're talking to lots of different people here at Essence 34. We're joined with an artist now. I was hoping you could introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Karen Crosby and I have an installation here at Essence 34, and it's all about water and the bourne that runs underneath Sittingbourne High Street. And it's just a puddle installation on top, a puddle on top of a plinth really, which you don't see very often, and underwater filming projected underneath, so it looks like you're looking into the depths of a puddle.
I was going to say, it's quite clever. I assume it's like a projection, is it?
It is it's an installation, a projection. It's quite nice because people are coming in saying, how did she do that? Because there's light reflected on the walls as well, like water reflections, and you want to touch the puddle because it looks so deep because it's projected into a resin plate. And I just love watching people saying, how is it? How's that done? And when someone guesses, I get really upset. But it is back projected as a little projector inside a box, really.
How did you actually capture that piece? Did you use a special underwater camera?
Yes, it's a GoPro, and my husband had to do that on a long stick, hanging onto a branch with it underneath from all the different parts of this puddle. There was a waterfall there and the little fishes are all coming up to it. It was wonderful, but he didn't fall in, he was fine.
Well, it's one of those things, once you've got it, you know you've got it right, actually.
Yeah, well, the most brilliant thing about that day was the sun was shining, so got lots of sun and reflections and shadows, and it looks like you're looking up at the clouds and the sun's just brilliant bright star. And the next day we went back to do some more and there was no sun, no reflections, no magic. So we were very lucky to catch it all in one day.
Well, thank you very much for telling us all about your piece.